Is it worth it to buy the 2024 Player's Handbook? If you already have the 2014 Player's Handbook, should you buy this one as well? If you're a new player, is this a good use of your money? How much of the material in this book is repeated, and is the new stuff actually good? The review embargo on the 2024 Player's Handbook is over, so let's play smash or pass with 1D&D. The 2024 PHB is 384 pages long, over 60 pages more than the 2014 version. The opening two chapters are the core rules for playing the game and rules for creating a character. The bulk of this information is the same as the core 5e rules, which are freely available online with some minor changes. Stuff like ability score increases are granted by your background now. Every background gives you a feat, we'll get to feats later, and the term race is being replaced by species. On the smash or pass scale, this is a theoretical smash, but don't commit just yet. Do not buy this book to access any core rules changes, because those changes are entering Creative Commons, where they're freely available and easy to find. To find the value in this book, we'll look at material that isn't going to be freely available in a few months' time. By far the sexiest section of the book on the smash or pass scale are chapters 3 through 7. The updated classes, subclasses, feats, spells, backgrounds, and species. The class chapter is the girthiest in the book. We've got all 12 classes here, there is no such thing as an artificer, and there is no war in Ba Sing Se. Each class comes with an updated set of core abilities and 4 subclasses. On the updates to the core classes, it's a mixed bag, but mostly positive. The general balance of D&D has been tightened up. There are, of course, some glaring problems. The new Ranger has fundamental issues. Old problems with some mechanics haven't been fixed, and some new features are absolutely breakable. This is great for making memes about breaking Dungeons and Dragons, but it's bad if you expect that using 1D&D will make the game balanced. It ain't happening. That said, the new classes get a tentative smash, but remember, like the core rules, these will all be freely available in Creative Commons. There are 48 subclasses in this book. 3 have never been seen before: the Circle of Sea Druid, College of Dance Bard, and Path of the World Tree Barbarian. Of the remaining 45, 16 are significantly different. The remaining 29 are either functionally identical to previous published versions, or have only one feature altered that does not significantly change how they play. Some weaken or restrict subclasses unnecessarily, and some subclasses have backdoor nerfs due to the way they don't mesh well with changes to their core class. I will be making videos breaking down and reviewing every subclass in this book in full over the next few weeks, and I'm sure many other YouTubers and blogs will be doing the same. By just existing online, you will get all the information you need to decide if you want these in your games. With that in mind, this is 8 more subclasses than were in the original Player's Handbook, and most of them are good. They're also spread evenly, after the original PHB made the baffling decision to include 8 wizards, 7 clerics, and only 2 barbarians, bards, druids, and sorcerers. One common argument when assessing a WotC book is why even consider this over any third-party option? They drop one book with one subclass and a few feats when you could get dozens of subclasses, new classes, and more from MCDM or Loot Tavern or Kobold Press. It's a fair argument, but it doesn't actually apply in this case. Even ignoring every subclass that isn't significantly changed, you still have 19 new subclasses to cook with. This is a solid smash. This is the chapter you bring home to meet your parents. Yes, it's a bit clumsy, there are definitely some red flags, but this is still good value. Chapter 4 contains 16 backgrounds, and it's a pass from me. Your ability score increases and free feat come from your background now, but they've also removed those beautiful, flavorful abilities backgrounds used to give. Do you remember the plaintiff background that let you spout legalese gibberish to terrorize peasants into doing what you want? Or the knight background that gave you an NPC squire to run around with? It was fun. The new backgrounds don't have any ribbon features at all. It feels like they're trying to make themselves necessary by jamming in important features that used to belong to your species. There's nothing actually new here. It's a pass. This chapter also brings 10 species, an update from the 9 in the original PHB. There are no new species here, and there are no mixed species options in this book. The Unearthed Arcana said essentially that you can imagine being a half dragonborn, half human if you like, but it's gonna have no bearing on your abilities. The final version of the book doesn't even attempt to tackle that issue, and that's a real shame. By far one of the most hyped up elements of DC20 and other modern TTRPGs is the ability to customize your abilities based on your lineage. This was the time for D&D to make that change, and they didn't. I'm breaking down every new species in a video very soon, but for now, there is nothing significantly new here. This is also another case where all the species will enter into Creative Commons, but because they're basically the same as their 2014 versions, it doesn't really matter. By the way, 100% of the ad revenue from this video is getting donated to charity. You can hear more about the charities this video is in support of in this video right here. It's in support of children and young families, and if you would like to support young children across the world, this video is also a fundraiser for Children International. I can only make this review because I received early access to this book from Wizards of the Coast, so personally, I don't think it's right for me to earn money from it. Okay, let's talk about the new feats. There are 75 in this book, split into a few categories. 43 are standard feats. You get a new skill or ability when you take them. Note that ability score increase is now a feat you can take, and classes get feats at the usual levels. Then there are 10 fighting style feats. These are the old fighting styles reorganized into feat form. There are also 12 epic boon feats, which can only be taken from level 19. While powerful, it's worth remembering that these feats are unlikely to affect most games because they are such high level. Finally, there are 10 origin feats, which are unique in that they can be taken at level 1 as part of your background. Some features, such as the human's versatile, also allow you to take extra origin feats. They are essentially the less powerful normal feats. Of all the non-epic feats, 4 are new, and 7 existing feats have been changed to the point they might as well be new. Aside from that, it's a lot of repeats. Historically, feats have not been made available in the system reference document, and so aren't in Creative Commons. So if you've got no access to older feats from any source, 75 options isn't bad. I'll do a video breaking down all the new and updated feats soon. Next is the equipment chapter, which sounds boring, and it kind of is. The bulk of the new stuff is the weapon mastery system. This is already available on D&D Beyond. It's simple and it's free online, so whether you get this book or not, and grab these mechanics and use them, unless you're already using a better third-party system that upgrades martial characters. This chapter also briefly covers some small things, like hiring spellcasting services, which is fun, and a table for hiring mercenaries. It does not, however, give any indication of what these mercenaries might be able to achieve, or give a stat block for them. It simply says that you can grab a skilled mercenary or artisan for 2 gold pieces per day. There are a few areas across the book that are like this, potentially interesting ideas which are undercooked and so kind of useless. By far the worst offender of this is the crafting system. This meager 3/4 of an A4 page contains all the information you're gonna get on brewing potions of healing, scribing spell scrolls, and crafting non-magical items. In essence, it takes an amount of gold equal to half the value of an item to craft it, plus a number of days equal to the gold value of that item divided by 10. So crafting plate armor would cost you 750 gold and take 150 days. Look, this isn't a crafting system. This is mail order shopping. You decide what you want, you pay some gold, and you wait a few days of downtime for it to appear. There are no mechanics for harvesting materials, no crafting checks, no complications, no narrative implications, nothing. All you need is the right tool proficiency and free time. These crafting rules don't even interact with the new crafter feat, save for the fact it gives you some tool proficiencies. Advertising a crafting system in this book is frankly disingenuous. Anyone who ordered this excited to add crafting to their games is going to be disappointed. This is a hard pass. I will add, however, that there are many great crafting systems out there. My favorite is by Loot Tavern, and I made a video about it. I'll link it down below. It's also free. That crafting system is in Creative Commons now, so you can just use it. The final chapter of the book is the second largest, covering 389 spells. Of these spells, most are the same, and in some cases that's a little annoying. Some spells that deserve re-evaluation have not had it. There are 26 spells that are either completely completely new or so significantly different that they might as well be new. As with the feats, there's not much here you haven't seen before, but it is a healthy crop of resources if you don't have access to the older stuff. Appendix A is a single page of lore, giving a paragraph on each major plane. Appendix B is 51 creatures, mostly low-level beasts for wild shape and familiar options. Appendix C is a glossary of terms, and there's an index at the back. And that's the bones of the book, but you can't smash a skeleton. What something looks like is a huge part of whether you smash or pass. And I gotta say it, the art is spectacular in this book. This is the best looking Wizards of the Coast book ever. Sure, that is not the highest bar, but there is lots of art, it's really nice, and most importantly, it's got character. It is joyous and whimsical and badass. Look at this little owl with a hat. Look at this beholder balloon. People have paid attention. There is effort and world building and no AI. The only downside is not all of the art is original, which is a shame. You are a billion-dollar company. This is allegedly the last time you will ever publish a player's handbook. It is baffling that they didn't go all the way. This isn't the most beautiful D&D book ever made. It's not on the same level as Seven Sinners or Ryoko's Guide, but it is a 9 out of 10. The layout also kicks ass. I love how the text of every subclass falls down the page between these spectacular vertical art pieces with the border on them. At its best, it almost looks like characters bursting out from stained glass as you read about them. Art and layout is a smash. Hot Squidward level of smashable. As for the writing, it's fine. Every subclass gets a brief description at the start, very simple, not badly written. Some spells have cute lore references buried in them, notably the Wish spell. Lots of the mechanical writing is also cleaner than we've seen before, with a few small misses here and there. But this is a big book from a small and overworked team that had to meet an arbitrary deadline. Inevitably, it is not gonna be 100% polished. It is better than before, which isn't the same as being perfect, but it is all functional. The PHB is currently retailing at $30 digital, $50 physical. The value here is, of course, going to depend on what you're looking for and if you appreciate the convenience of having everything in one place. If you're fine grabbing material from Roll20 and the system reference documents when this material enters Creative Commons, and you already have a couple of books full of feats and spells, then this doesn't really offer that much to you beyond the subclasses. By the same token, if you're completely new to the game and excited to start learning, I would not recommend spending any money on D&D from anyone. Play for free first. Use the free resources available online, learn from YouTube videos and watch a couple of live plays, and if you're still playing in 6 months, this is a fine purchase to consider. The PHB 2024 is the first book from Wizards of the Coast in years that I think is worth $30, especially if the new or updated subclasses appeal to you and you want them in book form rather than seeing them broken down in YouTube videos or on Reddit. Other recent books from Wizards of the Coast are retailing at $30, and they don't include 1/20th of the material that's here. Honestly, I am surprised at how cheap this book is. I am certain that discussions were had about charging more for this, and someone in the company had to fight to keep this at an accessible price. Whoever that person was, they did good. Is it better than the best third-party options out there? No. But not being the best book in the world doesn't make it bad. Of course, there are ethical reasons why you might choose not to support Wizards of the Coast. I discuss some of those in this video. It is always worth carefully examining where your money goes when you buy any product and making an informed choice. You are the person with the cash, which means you are the person with the power to influence the direction of the industry if you believe that it needs to change. Also remember that this review is only for the PHB 2024. There are other books coming, and those books have had far less public playtesting. I urge you to be patient when it comes to future books. Wait for the reviews before committing your money. If you like or dislike this one, it doesn't mean you'll feel the same way about the next. FOMO is always a lie, and you will never miss out by waiting and making a considered decision. Tomorrow, I will be releasing an entire read-through of the PHB, taking it page by page and discussing everything. It's gonna be a long one, but check that out if you want to see the book in excruciating detail. Once again, 100% of the money this video and tomorrow's video earns from YouTube is going directly to the Sick Children's Trust and CDH UK. If you feel like saving a life today, you can donate using the links below or using the fundraiser beside this video. And that's all I've got. Remember to like and subscribe, check out other videos on the channel, and I'll see you next time.